Welcome to another episode of Success Today. I'm your host, Jack Canfield. And my next guest is Mark Gardner, who is a pre- and post-retirement specialist. We're going to talk about what all that means, how he can be of service to you in that regard. And I just want to welcome you to the show, Mark.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me here today and also being part of bestseller with Keys to Authenticity.
Well, glad to have you part of that book. It's a wonderful contribution you made to it. And I love the fact that you were willing to share your knowledge with the world and co-author that with me and so forth. So thank you. Mutual Admiration Society.
Appreciate that, Jack.
Before we talk about what you're currently doing, let's go back a little bit. Give us some background about yourself.
I worked on Wall Street for many, many years, actually with Bear Stearns and Company. And I brought the really attitude from Bear Stearns that the client must come first. I have a partner down in Houston, Texas. I'm in Dallas, and he covers that area. His name is Gabriel Herzik. The most important thing is that most people don't realize how much in taxes they'll have to pay once they get into retirement.
Well, say more about that. The taxes they'll have to pay once they get into retirement. What does that mean?
Here's some facts that it'll blow your mind. Out of 12 months, you actually have 3 of those months you're working for Uncle Sam. And then most people will work 90,000 hours in their lifetime, Jack. And that equates to 30 years. And out of that 30 years, you could just say you work 7 years for Uncle Sam.
So given that, which is an amazing statistic when you think about it, you're working, a quarter of your life in every year, the months going by. What do you help people do in relationship to that?
So our firm is a boutique firm. We're pre- and post-retirement planners. And we actually, much like a doctor, will go in and try to really understand the client, their needs, their aspirations, their risk tolerance. And if you tell your wife you love her and she tells you she loves you, here's the thing. Her definition for love may be different than yours. And then when you bring in an advisor, he's got his definition. So it makes it kind of difficult because now I've got to come in and I've got to find a language that modifies everybody and satisfies everyone in helping them do their planning for their retirement.
You say that, and I remember when I was first married, I was, investing and getting insurance and all this kind of stuff, and my wife's going, "You're not saving any money. We're not." Yes, we are, but it doesn't look like it yet. That was the stage we were in. There were certain things you have to do that, in her mind, wasn't the right thing. So you've got to modulate people's expectations, desires, and wants when it comes to that. If they're a couple,
by 2030, there'll be 70 million people turning 65. You kind of think about it this way, that as time marches on, the closer you get to retirement, you don't have that on your side anymore to prepare. My last name is Gardner, as everybody now knows, Mark Gardner. And as a gardener, I tell people, would you rather pay taxes on the seeds or on the harvest? And so we come in and we try to make sure that we look at what you got, and if we can help you convert your retirement funds from forever taxed to never being taxed. You know what's really important, Jack, in retirement? It's the income that matters most for the outcome. Again, it's the income that matters most in retirement to give you your outcome. Because you worked all those years, and now I ask clients, you got a 401k plan or you have an IRA? Well, think about something. Does that IRA have your name on it, Jack? Is it yours or is it theirs? And when I say theirs, THE capital IRS.
THE capital IRS. That's clever.
So what you're basically doing is your retirement plan is an IOU to the government. They didn't do us any favors by allowing us to put money away. Congress, what they really have done is they've changed the landscape out there. And you may say, well, how did they change the landscape? It's called required minimum distribution. When you hit 70 and a half, you had to pull money out of your retirement plan, as you may know. It's now changed to 72. Then our government has been a printing press out there, okay? For every dollar that we produce, it's called gross domestic product, we've now created 37 cents of debt. And where are they going to get that money? Out of retirement plans is one of them. There are more millionaires today than there ever been in history. And so when I asked, is that your plan or is it theirs? Because they're going to tax you again.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan was an actor, and he became president, as everybody knows. They asked him a question. Tell me, why do you only work half a year? He says, look, the first 3 months I earned $100,000. The next 3 months I earn another 100. If I earn $1 more, I'll be paying it 92%. That's where taxes were. Now, whether or not you like President Trump or not, or whether you voted for him, he's brought us down to the lowest taxes in history. And they're 37.5 at the top end. So we have an opportunity to help people really move some of their money. And what a lot of people don't realize, if a husband, when he passes, you got another problem, because now the woman, the wife, or the beneficiaries will take ownership of his retirement plan, and they've got 10 years now to take those dollars and deplete it out of their plan. It used to be called a stretch IRA, based on the life expectancy of that individual. It's not that way anymore.
So someone comes to you, young couple, middle of the age couple, whatever, and given everything you've just said, what do you counsel them to do?
I won't tell them to get down on their knees and pray, but I'll actually, my partner Gabriel Herzik and I will do a full evaluation. There are a lot of things we can do for the couple, depending on their incomes and depending on how they're putting money away. It really depends, but
It's unique. I get that, yeah.
everybody's different, you know. I wear a size 48 long jacket. My jacket wouldn't fit everybody, and I'm not about to try to make it a one size fit all.
Right. No, I get that. I get that. So someone comes to you, you sit down, and you do an analysis of their situation, what their goals are, et cetera, and then you counsel them. And do you basically help manage that, or do you just basically advise?
Well, we have two sides of our business. We can work as a consultant. We charge X amount per hour or study, or in most cases, we'll work for them. And we hope that people will be honest and not take our work and go somewhere else with it and have it run through us. So in our career, we've helped over 2,500 families. There was a time in my life that was a pivotal point where it brought me to where I am today. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was 16 years of age, and it's actually in the book. And I heard my mother crying. And Jack, I couldn't exactly understand what cancer was. You knew it was something bad, because I would hear her crying and saying, David, you've got cancer in your lungs and your kidney, the doctor said. And my father, with a very comforting voice, said, Ruth, everything will be okay. Believe in God. Well, unfortunately, within a year, my dad passed and left my mother, age 44, with 4 kids to run a business and unfortunately have to take care of kids with all ages going to different schools and what have you. And eventually, not like today, where there are CEOs who are women that public companies and so forth, they don't do it today. My mother had to sell the business. We had Kroger, and we have a Tom Thumb in our area, and you get 10 cents off your gas for every $100 you spend. So I'm filling up my car, and all of a sudden I hear this woman crying faintly in the background. Well, Jack, I walked over, and the woman was like this. And I said, ma'am, I couldn't help but hear you crying. Is there something I could do to help? And she goes, my husband just died a week ago, and I don't know how to put gas in my car. Jack, I did almost everything to hold back crying. It just tore my heart. So I said, would you allow me to show you how to do it? Do you have a credit card? She said, yes, sir. I showed her. We put gas in her car. And as I drove away, it reminded me not only of my mother, but there are so many people that are ill-prepared for retirement and for different things in life, and especially women when they lose a spouse, because sometimes it's one person handling all the money and all the affairs.
Right. Those are powerful experiences that would be definitely direct your concerns and behaviors and thoughts.
Yes, sir.
So we're in a show talking about success. And here we are. Success Today is our name of our show. And I'm just curious, what does success mean to you?
For many people, it could mean luxury cars and homes, and people like the Kardashians who make money and unbelievable and in the news all the time. And you got doctors and attorneys, and not to take anything away from their abilities, but the average person out there, they need us. So success for Gabriel Herzik and myself are that we can go in, we can ascertain what someone's doing, where they are. You go to a doctor, you go in and he practices on you through his, over time, he'll know how to handle various illnesses and things. And not that we practice on people, but we have defined how we can help people because everybody's unique and their situation's unique. Our goal is to help them. Wouldn't it be interesting and important to help somebody who is going through not knowing what to do with their money? And you can almost say I'm sitting in the front seat with them as they drive down their journey and towards retirement. You know, people are living longer today, Jack.
Right. That's not a big issue. Right.
So longevity and taxes are probably two of the six major challenges one faces. You could be 20, 30, 40 years even in retirement, and you've got to make sure your money outlives you rather than you outlive your money.
Right. That's very good. So if people want to take advantage of you, which I think they ought to, where do they go? How do they get in touch with you?
Before I share that with you, I want to offer three things. First thing that I want to offer is a complimentary consultation with us and my team. The second thing I'd like to offer for folks is we have a program that we can tell you exactly how much your taxes will be, let's say till you live to 90. And then last, you see this book right here? Mm-hmm. I'm willing for anybody that sets up an appointment with us to make sure that they are able to have this book, and especially chapter 19 on the retirement savings time bomb. So how they can get in touch with me is call me at 214-762-2327, or they can text me again at 214-762-2327. My website at retirewelldallas.com, and they can log in there and set up a time, or they can write me at markgardner@retirewelldallas.com.
Very well. Very good. Well, thank you for offering that to everybody. It's a wonderful offer. I'm so glad I got to talk to you today. I think what you shared may be a wake-up call for a lot of people, and I appreciate you bringing that to us and to all of our viewers.
Well, thanks again for having me here. I wanted to say this. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I look forward maybe to joining you on the next book.
All right. Look forward to that as well. Thank you for joining us here today.